The following commentary is based largely on an article by Christian Piatt. 5 Ways I Stink at Following Jesus. Wow, now that's a brave and vulnerable admission that opens by asking, what does it look like to follow Jesus in a post-industrial 21st century? Saying professing Christians generally try not to be too cruddy to other people, not to steal or kill or adulterate or worship graven images, whatever that entails, and that we try to love and accept each other, but we still hurt each other. This, of course, makes it difficult to do greater things than Jesus as he said we would do. Let's just hope he's talking collectively and not requiring us each as individuals to do greater things than he did, or we might be toast. Anyway, here are Mr. Piatt's top 5 things he stinks at, and if we're honest, we may have to admit that we kind of stink at them too. Number 1, I like stuff. I was raised in a culture in which the very economy depended on my affinity for stuff. I mean, what did George W. Bush tell us to do to help us heal from 9/11? Go shopping. I try to break the habit, but the problem is that stuff is so awesome and shiny and fun, and it's everywhere. Number 2, I want people to like me. My career more or less depends on it. I post new articles and watch to see with a sense of self-satisfaction or dread as the page views roll in or stall out at a trickle. My ego is wrapped up in my identity of what I do that it's hard for me to talk about anything without discussing my work. Number 3, I'm critical of others. Oh, I'm a pro at finding fault in other people. Some psychologists suggest that it's this critical view of the outside world that is simply an obfuscation to keep us from dealing with our lingering sense of lack of self-worth. But the thing is, I'm onto the fact that lots of days I could be a real jerk, assuring myself that everybody else is nearly the same degree of jerk as I am. The thing is that when I lean on this kind of justification, nothing changes. Number 4, I let fear dictate my actions. By naming it, my hope is that it loses some of its power, but it keeps coming back, and more often than not, it weaves its way into my consciousness like some kind of virus, infecting my judgment and my perspective. If we availed ourselves to a more perfect love, there would be no room for fear. Clearly, gotta keep that one on my to-do list. And number 5, I'm willful. One of Jesus' most powerful phrases ever uttered, at least for me, was, "Not my will, but yours, God, be done." Oh, it's one thing to submit your will to something bigger than yourself under normal circumstances. It's entirely another to do it when you're facing something more difficult, such as death, in the event that we're called to be martyrs too. It's hard enough letting go of control on our own agendas, let alone reckoning ourselves dead for the gospel. And when I take time to contemplate what is for the greater good, more often than not, I want to get there, but only if I can filter it through my own personal agenda first.